Guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be continuing a series that I am currently in the middle of. I did this video a couple of months ago, kind of like in episode 1, and I wish I could say I have continued series ever since that video, but I do not believe I've picked up a continuation of a series since that video. So this is kind of like me forcing myself to pick some of these books up and kind of finish out some of these series that I'm otherwise not specifically drawn to at the moment. So here's a full list of series that I'm currently in the middle of, but I will be sticking to the series where I already own the next book in that series because I don't want to buy any books for this video. I don't want to borrow from my library or anything like that. I've really been trying to get through my physical TBR and I've been doing a really good job this year, so I kind of just want to keep that streak going of kind of sticking to my physical TBR and just kind of getting my TBR condensed by the end of the year. That was like a big goal of mine for 2025. So I will be continuing series that I already own. So let me grab the books that are our options for this video. Okay, first option we have is City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. This is the second book of the Mortal Instruments series, and I feel like this series left off in such a chaotic place, and I feel like there's so much more to this story, so I definitely want to jump back into this series in this world at some point. And then the next option we have is Nightbane by Aster. This is also the second book of the Lightlark series, and I actually really enjoyed the first book of the series. I really enjoyed like the magical world and everything, and like I feel like there was a betrayal at the end of the first book, so definitely want to see where this one picks up. And then our next option is The Legacy, which is the fifth book of the Off-Campus series. The Off-Campus series is like a hockey, romance, college type of book, so I feel like this one would be fun and fast and flirty, which might be exactly what I need after Ninth House. I do like the series and I do want to wrap it up, so I'm excited for that one too. And then I have Ignite Me, which is the third book of the Shatter Me series. I really do want to jump back into this series and this world. I feel like this one also left off at such a chaotic place, and I cannot wait to see like where the story goes and what happens. And then for the last option, I'm honestly not even sure if I want to continue this series or if I kind of just want to unhaul the whole series, and that is the Kingmaker series by Sophie Lark. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of Sophie Lark's writing. I feel like it's just not for me, so I don't know if I want to give this one a go or if I just want to get rid of the whole series, because every time I look at the series on my shelf I kind of just get like the ick, if I'm being honest. So if I'm not able to get through this one, I might unhaul the whole series though, just because I don't really care for it. So but I'll give it a try. Okay, now I just need to figure out which book I want to start with. My goal is to read at least 4 of these, and I think I'm going to use the wheel spinner again like I did for my August TBR, just to kind of take the pressure off of myself. I got my 5 books in my wheel spinner. I have the screen recording. Let's go ahead and do our first spin for our first book of this video. I ended up getting Ignite Me, which is the third book of the Shatter Me series, and like I said, I'm so excited to see where the story goes in this one. I feel like this one, the pace is really going to pick up. I feel like things are going to start happening more, and like it's really going to be like a turning point of the series. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into Ignite Me, and I will keep you updated on my thoughts as I go. Hi guys, yesterday I read a little over 50% of Ignite Me, which is kind of crazy because I read like 220 pages yesterday, and I honestly couldn't tell you the last time that I read over 200 pages in one day, but I ended up getting the ebook from my Libby app, and I was up till like 1 or 2 a.m. just binge reading this book, so I'm definitely enjoying it. I feel like nothing too major is happening right now. I feel like they're kind of just going over the destruction of the last book and kind of just like getting their footing again. I do feel like they're setting up for something big. I know they're gonna start planning soon and everything, so I'm definitely intrigued to see like where the story's gonna go and everything. So I'm gonna jump back into it and hopefully finish it today. I don't own the next book in the series, so even if this is like a 5-star read for me, I can't continue it in this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this one, and then we'll see what we have next. Hi guys, last night I finished Ignite Me and I definitely have some thoughts, so let's talk about it. In this book, we're still following Juliet and she still has her deadly touch, and the world is also still falling apart around them, but she decides to finally try and do something about it, try to go after the reestablishment, especially after Anderson shot her in the chest. She's now angry and wants revenge. So in this book, I feel like we definitely see her step into her full ability and like her confidence. In the first couple books, you can definitely tell that she's scared and like unsure of herself. She doesn't really want to use her power at all. She's scared of like hurting people, but in this one you definitely see her learn how to control it and use it when she wants, turn it off and on, and that kind of stuff. Thought it was so satisfying to see her step into herself and gain her confidence and finally take control of her power and her ability and actually use it. She was definitely on a mission in this book, which was so satisfying to read. I feel like she got to train both her ability and her physical strength, because we all know she was lacking in physical strength. And then of course Kenji, our king of comic relief and emotional support, he was there to kind of help her train and control her power and her abilities and everything. So I would definitely love to see more of Kenji in the upcoming books. They're like best friends and I absolutely am living for it. I love how much we got to learn about Warner in this book. I definitely understand the Aaron Warner hype. The first couple of books I was like, what the heck, why is everybody so obsessed with this guy? But now I definitely get it. I understand everything, all of the hype around Aaron Warner, and I am obsessed. I don't know if it's just because I absolutely love the nickname Love, especially from a morally gray, emotionally repressed commander who's a lot more soft and broken, and there's a lot more to him than it appears. So maybe that's what it is, but either way, I love Aaron Warner. And I'm so proud of Juliet for finally stepping into her ability and everything and learning to control it and just gaining that confidence in herself. So I definitely enjoyed this one. I definitely feel like this was my favorite read out of the series so far. And I ended up giving it 4.5 stars. I'm definitely like so intrigued to like see where the series goes from here. I think I have like 5 more books in this series, so I'm just so curious to see like what's gonna happen next with all of those books. But I don't own any of the next books in the series, so I will be moving on to the next book in this video, which I also started last night. I didn't get very far before I ended up falling asleep, but I started The Legacy by Elle Kennedy. I felt like I needed something a little flirty and fast-paced after what I read last night. I didn't get very far until I ended up falling asleep last night. I think I got to like chapter 5, and this book is actually following the 4 couples from the previous books, and it's kind of like an epilogue for each couple from the previous books. So I think that's really cool. I think we're gonna get to see them all like hanging out together, and it switches POVs every chapter, but like between all 4 couples. So we kind of get to see like how they're doing after graduation, I believe. I don't know, I'm only 5 chapters in. So far I'm enjoying it. First couple of chapters were following Logan and Grace, and I forgot how much I enjoyed these characters' presence. Like they just feel like real people. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump back into The Legacy for now, and then I will give you some more thoughts whenever I get further. First, I think I'm gonna make a smoothie because I made a smoothie yesterday and that shit was so good. I kind of want another one. So I'm gonna go make a smoothie and then jump into The Legacy. Loki forgot how bad the spice in this series cringes me out. Like I have no choice but to just skim through it really fast because why are you being that descriptive? Like you're giving me the ick. I don't understand. 50% through this book now, but I cannot find my Kindle. I don't know where I put it. I know I went to the pool, but I didn't really take it out at the pool, so it should be here somewhere. I'm gonna tear my room apart real quick looking for my Kindle, and hopefully I find it. I found my Kindle, and like I said earlier, I'm about 50% through this book, but I'm really loving how we're getting multiple couples perspectives and we're not just following one couple. We're following the 4 couples from the previous 4 books, and I just think that's so fun. It's kind of just like catching up with old friends at this point, and it's cool that they're like kind of just catching up and they're still friends even though they don't really have any obligations. Like they're not teammates and they're not like college roommates anymore, so like they are just friends because they're friends at this point, and I just really love to see that. Having found family trope in my opinion, just like what a tight-knit group they all are. So I'm definitely enjoying it, and I'm hoping to finish the rest of it in the next couple of hours, and then I want to move on to my next book. Guys, last night I finished The Legacy and I don't really have much more to say. I enjoyed it. I felt like I was just catching up with old friends, but I wouldn't say it was a favorite. I loved seeing them like post grad and everything and them hitting all these milestones, but I just kind of lost a little bit of interest. I feel like I've already read a lot of their story already, so it was nice to have like a wrap up and like an ending to their stories, but other than that I don't really have much to say. I don't really have a favorite couple or anything, but we did get a wedding, a proposal, an elopement, and a pregnancy all in this one book, so it was fun, it was fast, and I enjoyed it. It was a nice wrap on the series, and I'm glad I can say I finally finished the off-campus series. But it is time to pick out my next read, which is what I'm mostly excited for right now. So let's look at my options, and I'm going to put this one on my shelf. Okay, now we're down to the last 3 options for this video. Like I said, my goal is to read 4 of these, but I'm really leaning towards continuing the Mortal Instruments series. Like the first book left off in such a chaotic place, and I'm so like interested to see our main character's dynamic after the big plot twist at the first book. I have heard good things about this series. I was just a little thrown off with the big plot twist at the end of the last book, but I definitely want to see what happens next, especially with the way things ended and everything. So I'm going to jump into City of Ashes and see how far I can get today. Oh yeah, I totally forgot this is like an urban fantasy, so we're like in the real world, but there's like a fantasy world mixed in somehow. I'm learning to love that a lot. Hi guys, it's been a couple of days again, but I finished City of Ashes not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. And then yesterday, seriously, it was so hot. I did not feel like doing literally anything. I had my blinds down and I just wanted to stay as cool as possible because it was freaking like 120 yesterday or something. I don't know. I was dying and I did not feel like doing anything. So today I want to start Nightbane by Aster. I also kind of took a little day break from reading because I read like 3 books back to back to back and it was a lot. So I definitely needed that little day in between. So today I'm going to start Nightbane by Aster. This is the second book of the Light series, and they're on this magical island that only appears like every 100 years. Isla has just broken the curses and she's like discovering that she does actually have like dormant powers. Her whole life she thought she was like magicless and everybody else around her was just like full magic. So she is discovering her powers and everything, and the last book kind of left off at a crazy place, so I'm hoping that this one kind of just picks up right where the last one left off, because that's what usually works best for me. Like, I enjoy the story a lot more when it picks up like that and rather just jumping around. So I'm really hoping it starts like picks up where it left off in the first book. And I think there's also a little love triangle going on. I don't know how that's going to play out in this book, but I'm definitely excited to see it. I've heard the romance in this series is really good, so I'm definitely excited for that. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into Nightbane. I'm also staying in my jammies today. Hi guys, it has been a few days since I talked to you last, but let me explain. I don't know if it's the heat or if I'm getting sick or whatever, but every time I would go to pick this book up, I would start reading and then I would get very sleepy to the point where I was stuck on like the first 100 pages for like 3 days. And it's not that the book is bad, especially because last night I ended up logging in and I almost finished it. Like, it's a good book. I'm definitely enjoying it. I just don't know what was like stopping me from just getting through the first 100 pages. I also like read like 4 books back to back to back, and maybe that was like why I just needed a little brain break from reading. I'm not too sure, but the important part is that last night I really locked in. I almost finished it, to be honest, but I wanted to read like the last 30 pages with you guys and like the last chapters with you because I've actually really enjoyed this book a lot more than I thought I was going to. I feel like now that we're getting a lot more details from the past, because one of the big things was that Isla's memories were stolen by Grimm, and now that she's like untangled her powers, she's getting those memories back. So I feel like that's really added to the plot and everything, and I'm really invested now. I'm loving her characters. I'm loving the love triangle. I cannot help but feel for the past and for the story with Grimm and Grimm's point of view. Not his point of view, but like the time that she spent with him, like before the Centennial. I'm very torn between the love triangle right now, and that usually doesn't happen often. Like, usually in a love triangle, it's very obvious like who the person should be with. But no, as of right now, I'm very torn, even though he is the present day enemy. Like, I feel like there's just more to their story, and I'm so intrigued to see how that all plays out. I'm so intrigued. We're getting to the end of Nightbane where the war is about to start and everything. It's literally the morning of the war. That's where I'm at. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this book up, and then I really want to go and buy the next book for the series, which I haven't had that feeling in so long. So I'm really enjoying this one. I really want to continue the series, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the last 30 pages and see what happens with the war, see what happens with Oro, Grimm, and Isla. What? What? I think I'm gonna wrap the video up here. I don't really feel like reading The Spy by Sophie Lark, which is the last book option for this video, but I read 4 continuations of a series. I even finished a series. I finished the Off-Campus series, which I'm so happy about. I feel like I should have finished that series a long time ago, so I'm really glad that I got a wrap on those characters. And then absolutely loved, I really want to continue it as soon as possible. Same thing with Ignite Me, absolutely loved it, want to continue it as soon as possible. And City of Ashes, I enjoyed it and I enjoyed the story progression, and I do want to continue the series. It's just not a favorite for me. But these are the 4 books and series that I ended up continuing or finishing in today's reading vlog. So I really hope you enjoyed today's reading vlog, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!